Now, Gauteng is using too much water. That's the word from Water and Sanitation Minister Senzo Mchunu. He provided updates on the bottlenecks and barriers in providing water to the province. Several areas across the province have been battling water shortages in recent weeks. Now, senior reporter Aviwe Mtila is in Klipfontein View in Johannesburg checking on the water issues there. Aviwe, what are you finding there?
No water, Maseko. In fact, as we speak, there's a water tanker now, and some of the community members are actually gathered on the side of it, filling up those bottles, as they haven't had water for days here in Klipfontein View, we are told by some of the residents. It's one of those baffling issues. If you, for example, ask the Minister of Water and Sanitation, he'll tell you that the Vaal River is actually full to capacity. It's in fact 103% full at this current juncture, but it's getting the water to such residences that is the issue. In fact, I want to catch up with some of the residents here on the ground and find out what the exact situation is. Siswam, thank you for joining us up at ENCA.
Yo, it's been like 2 weeks now, singanamanzi, and the situation is bad. Sometimes amatrak wamanzi as are like late at night. Some people like during the day I ask sometimes, but they don't accommodate. Even when you come back, still awake, or maybe I to certain areas. They complain a lot. Our fee at all, so they have to come from that way to here.
And how do you get by though on your day-to-day life without water for the last 2 weeks? And is there any communication from government on what's happening?
No, actually about that one, I don't really know. But it has not been communicated because we have a hall. They call the community to tell us the situation. But since in 2 weeks, these 2 weeks, nothing has happened. We have not been told about the water or when it's going to come back or what is the issue. So it's very difficult right now.
And the business itself, how are you surviving?
The business is very slow, of course. The business is very slow, and it's affecting a lot of us. Car washes, us little businesses, so it's very tough.
Okay, thank you very much, Iswama. I also want to get a sense, Masako, as you heard there from the lady, 2 weeks that they haven't had water here in Klipfontein. The last time that they were communicated to by government or any form of municipal person, it was 2 weeks ago, called together at a community hall, but there's been no communication since then. In fact, there's a car wash that we're seeing here. You can see that there are bottles full there of water, and as you can see, some of the gentlemen washing that water. But I'm going to ask you to come closer. Kule car wash, ni survive njani? Because akho manzi for 2 weeks here.
Yeah, car wash is ngati very into is affected kakhulu amanzi. Because it's also in about 3 weeks, singana manzi, very amanzi sometimes sizamuwaka lapho emfweni kuthi sikhona kuwasha imoto. So business is affected kakhulu because asakhona ukusebenza siyalamba makunjalo. So amanzi mabathi sithi amanzi abakhulumi nokuthi azoba khona nini, izinto zakhona zihamba kanjani.
Ngiyayazi ukuthi azobuya nini amanzi. Okay, so this gentleman is saying that for the last couple of weeks it's been a struggle, Maseko. I understand that the car wash survives on water in order for it to actually have an effective business. It's been a struggle getting that water and allowing the business itself to run. In fact, these are some of the conversations we've been having with Minister of Water and Sanitation and the Deputy Minister, David Mashlobo, as well, just to gauge what the issues are. As you'd understand that the Vaal River itself that supplies the bulk of the water around Gauteng is filled to capacity. But you'd hear that it's the infrastructure woes, old infrastructure that needs to be replenished, as well as the ongoing load-shedding woes when it comes to the electricity and the reservoirs themselves unable to pump the water to the various areas and various municipalities. In fact, it's one of those issues that David Mashlobo, Deputy Minister, touched on a bit earlier on. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
We are going to have an urgent meeting with the Minister of Electricity. In that urgent meeting with the Minister of Electricity, Many mechanisms are going to be explored. How do we actually mitigate the issues of load shedding around the question of water supply and sanitation services? We must indicate that, one, there is a decision by Cabinet, confirmed by the regulations that have been passed on the question of the declaration of the state of national disaster with respect to load shedding. There are certain sectors that are very important that are being exempted on the question of the load shedding, and water is one of that particular component. But those discussions are not going to ensure that all the water systems are going to be exempted. A discussion will have to happen between the two ministers, including ESCOM, including all our entities in the water sector, so that we know which systems are more critical. Remember, if there is no water, there are problems in terms of the education sector. If there is no water, there is a problem in terms of food security. They can't pump so that we can be able to deal with those issues. The hospitals, you can name a number of them.
All right, senior reporter Aviwe Mtila live for us there in Johannesburg. Let's leave it there for now.